Before you watch this video, I want to be clear about what this is and what it isn't. This isn't an attack on religion. It's not about labeling anyone. And it's not about telling anyone what to believe or what to do. What you're about to watch is a pattern explanation. Over the past few weeks, I've shared multiple short clips describing how control actually works inside of high control groups. Not through force, but through psychology, emotion, and authority structures. Individually, those videos raise questions. Together, they show a system. What this video is simply those patterns arranged clearly without urgency. If none of this applies to you, there's nothing that you have to do. And if some of this feels quietly familiar, there's no pressure for you to do anything with that either. This is about understanding, not exposure. Awareness, not persuasion. You're free to pause, skip, or stop watching at any time. Let's start with the first pattern. To understand how control works, we have to start at the beginning, not with blame, but with how people are first brought in. No one joins a cult. People join community, meaning, certainty. Recruitment works fast because it targets vulnerable moments, transitions, grief, identity loss, loneliness. You're offered answers before you're allowed questions. Belonging before discernment. Purpose before consent. The hook isn't control. It's relief. That doesn't make you naive. It makes you human. Understanding this isn't about blame. It's about clarity. Once someone is inside, the confusion usually doesn't feel intellectual. It feels physical. If something feels intense, urgent, or overwhelming, that doesn't automatically mean it's spiritual. Your body has a nervous system. Fear can feel like conviction. Adrenaline can feel like revelation. Emotional flooding can feel like God moving. Control often bypasses belief by targeting the body first. True spiritual experiences tend to calm, not hijack. They expand awareness, not shut it down. Before interpreting meaning, check your states. If your body isn't safe, your clarity won't be either. Control doesn't start with beliefs. It starts with environments. What information you're allowed to hear, who you're allowed to trust, how you're allowed to interpret your own thoughts. Over time, your world gets smaller. Fewer voices, fewer opinions, fewer reference points. When every answer comes from within the system, leaving starts to feel impossible. That is not faith. That is containment. Control isn't just intellectual, it's emotional. Guilt for thinking differently, shame for needing space, fear of disappointing God, leaders, or community. These emotions don't arise naturally, they're trained. When obedience is rewarded with belonging, your nervous system learns the rules fast. If you feel confused, conflicted, or emotionally trapped, that's not a moral failure, it's conditioning. Most people could leave, in theory, but systems like this don't rely on locks. They rely on spiritualized obedience, fear of consequences, identity collapse if you exit. Disagreeing feels dangerous. Pausing feels sinful. Rest feels rebellious. When control is framed as righteousness, compliance feels holy. That is not devotion. That's a trap. This is the point where many people start asking, if I see this now, why can't I just leave? If leaving feels terrifying, that doesn't mean you're weak. It means your nervous system is doing its job. You were taught that safety equals obedience and danger equals independence. So when you imagine leaving, your body reacts. Panic, dread, confusion. That fear isn't prophecy. It's a survival response to conditioned threats. Understanding this matters because fear isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign to slow down. After leaving, many people think they're falling apart. You're not. Your brain is recalibrating after long-term control. Mood swings, grief, doubt, exhaustion. These are withdrawal symptoms from certainty. This phase is temporary. You're not broken. You're adjusting to autonomy. When people finally step out of control, the question isn't what to believe next. It's what safety actually feels like. Real spiritual safety doesn't demand fear. It doesn't punish questions. It doesn't collapse when challenged. It allows rest, boundaries, consent. True spirituality expands your capacity to think and choose. If something claims to be holy, but requires your silence or submission, that's not sacred. That's unsafe. And you are allowed to choose differently. If you recognize yourself in any part of this, there's nothing you need to decide right now. Understanding doesn't require urgency, and clarity doesn't demand replacement. You are allowed to take this at your own pace.